I shall regain what I deserve. I kill whoever I want to kill.
Picks in their pockets. So very interesting next game as we're gonna take a look at the gaming house, the situation here for RRQ Hoshi, and it seems like they're still calm and collected, maybe a little bit worried knowing that if they don't win this next game, they will lose the match against Aura Fire, Gani.
Yeah, absolutely 100%. As now RRQ will have their first pick here. So yes, guys, the draft will begin very shortly. Actually, it has begun. Presented to you by our official live streaming platform in Nemo TV, RRQ, opening their bans towards export barrels and as well as Kadita, repeating what they did in game number 2 at there. Now, meanwhile, from the side of Aura Fire, they will opt towards Ling, Matilda, and as well as Jawhead Banks. So yes, Paquito will most definitely enter the Land of Dawn for the 3rd time in this match here, Aderna.
Yeah, I think this Kadita being banned away from Aura Fire will be a huge blow to their gameplay because honestly, Aura Fire gameplay is very centered around the playmaking of Godiva, and with a Kadita, she is able to burst out and pick off a lot of heroes, but will be able to escape as well. So I'm interested to see what Godiva will be playing in this next matchup as we take a look at the first 3 picks from both teams. We have RRQ Hoshi securing that Paquito once again, and Aura Fire responding that with a Lilia and Esmeralda pick. So still very, very similar picks from both teams, Gani.
Repeating game number 1 is the game here. RRQ though, in game number 1, they secured the Alice pick in their first phase. So will it come through once again? There you go, the Alice. But a little shake up. They will pick up the Baksha here. So repeating what Aura Fire did in game number 2 now. In response here, Aura Fire will respond with an Uranus pick, Arashi with that ooze, with the Oz. Tell me, what are you thinking, my friend?
Yeah, RRQ trying to fight fire with fire here. They're actually picking up, I think, the same comp that Aura Fire had in the previous game. Maybe thinking that they can do a bit more with that, with their own, like, you know, more diligent, more sharp decision making and tempo potential. So I think that's a very bold strategy, considering that Aura Fire was the first one that came up with it. They probably have some countermeasures as well, and now the Uranus as well coming out finally for the side of Aura Fire. And you know, RRQ has the advantage because the Baksha can counter the healing, but the ban onto the Olus getting you know, selected by RRQ Hoshi probably wanted to curb the side lane potential, because I guess the Uranus can still go to other lanes aside from the jungle. So I think they were respecting the possibility that the Olus can still go to the jungle in the hands of High. And as we saw in that first game, the DPS coming from him is huge. And with that in mind though, the Lunox is still not let go by the side of Aura Fire. I thought that they would pick up the Lunox in this game because, again, the tail seems to be the difference in damage and burst, you know? So with Lilia taken out by Aura Fire for themselves, I figured that the Lunox would be the one selected by RRQ, but they finally run out their bans with that Yuzong as well, Goni.
Yeah, interestingly enough, we saw Alice debuting in the Land of Dawn today, and again, we will see the first Alice ban today. So very interesting drafts here from both of the teams. But with that Yuzong as well as Alice pick, Aura Fire will pick up that Angela for their first pick in the second phase, adding more sustainability, adding more durability for team fights for Uranus, for perhaps Esmeralda here, and during the team fights here, Eterna.
Yes, and RRQ Hoshi has yet to choose a mid laner presence, and with Lunox as well as Beatrix off the board, I'm wondering what they will choose, because I think this Lunox
Nathan.
was banned instead of taken, because I don't think Facehugger is comfortable on this Lunox, but RRQ Hoshi will respond with a Farsa pick as their mid laner and a Granger. So finally, an MM to secure the deal, like what Arashi mentioned previously. And Aura Fire will be sealing their composition as well with the last pick. And the question is, who will it be, Donnie?
Who will it be? Of course, that Granger pickup somehow of course, that Yuzong ban somehow signaling a marksman pick for the side of RRQ, which will come through. But Aura Fire will close their ban and picks with that Hayabusa pick. So again, composition-wise here, Arashi, what are your thoughts?
I think the draft from RRQ is a lot more flexible, and if they can execute their game plan, they can do fine. But if the composition from Aura actually gets a snowball the same way we saw the first time this Uranus gets picked in the MPL back then, I think it will be quite hard for RRQ to deal with that. So I think I favor RRQ still, but it is a very close draft, I think, Donnie.
Yeah, I do agree. I think the drafts is really even, and who will have the first, who will be more proactive is the question. Who will be more proactive will win the game as we enter the third game between RRQ and as well as Aura Fire. Who will take the match? Of course, best of ones. Back at it again. There now, I want to hear your thoughts regarding the composition, please.
I think if RRQ Hoshi will be able to stave off the damage coming in from Hayabusa, knowing that Hayabusa will be trying to take away this Albert away from the board, I think RRQ Hoshi has a really good chance of winning game number 3 here, Gani. But as it stands, Godiva will be on this Angela, so I don't think we've seen Godiva on an Angela before, but we're just gonna have to see how it can synergize with the gameplay that he likes, which is that pick-off type of style. So this is very interesting to see how it pans out, Gani.
Yeah, different gameplay here from Godiva. In game number 1 and as well as 2, that Ruby was impactful for Godiva. But we can see here the rotations from Kara, very aggressive. And Albert will claim that creep. But again, both teams playing it very, I think, aggressively here, no? Don't you think? In the first couple of minutes, trying to give out vision, trying to make something happen quite early. As of course, High will play that Uranus jungler. We have seen this before. Hopefully for them it will come to fruition, but as of right now, both teams are quite even here there now.
Yes, and it seems like Facehugger will be the target of the damage coming in from Vin as well as Clay, but it will be insta. Oh my god, the flame shot goes on to Facehugger and he barely escapes with his life, as that was a sliver of health nearly taking him down in the second minute. But as it stands, RRQ Hoshi are still rotating quite passively, as High will be trying to make a play here, as High goes in quite deep onto Vin, but will be chunked very low by Albert. But Vin is the next target, as Godiva is also very aggressive here onto Vin, but Vin will be able to escape as of right now. But R7 comes into play as he will be targeting High, but unfortunately it will be Clay going down first, and Vin is the next one on the chopping board as he will be taken down as well. So a 2-for-0 trade for Aura Fire, and this gives them the space that they need to maybe take this turtle, Gani.
You're absolutely right. As Kara giving vision for his teams, realizing that Albert is still on that orange buff, I'm sure Aura will claim that. Ooh, what?
Oh my god!
And it just managed to secure that turtle. What a play from Clay. That flame shot was just on point, as right now Aura looking for compensation. The Feather Airstrike has been positive. Aura High will not survive that one because the Skylar is just there. The positioning, the timing was there, and High will go down for the first time for the side of Aura Fire. But RRQ, what a play. What a crazy play right now. Again, they are so proactive everywhere across the map here, Derna.
Honestly, that was insane. Being able to take away the turtle from Aura Fire, knowing that they dedicated so much time onto it, and being able to just take it with a flame shot. That must be so infuriating for Aura Fire at the moment, as I hope their mental state is fine. As Facehugger gets caught in a bad situation, we'll be able to use the black shoes to get out of that situation. But the damage coming in from Vin as well as Clay with the Feather Airstrike will be able to chunk both members, Facehugger as well as Kira, very, very low. And the Death Zone not connects, and it will be Facehugger taken away off the board yet again. So crazy calculated plays coming in from RRQ Hoshi as of right now, Gani.
Yeah, Flicker and as well as Black Shoes have been wasted there. Facehugger will still have to go down, but right now Hai gets an awkward position here as Skylar as well as Clay managed to give some sort of damage and pressure, but Baxia did not commit in crashing Hai, but of course Aura will just clear the wave minion, will just clear the wave mid side, and we can see both team resetting right here, right now. Entering minute number 5 here. Arashi, what are your thoughts?
I think already we can see that the difference in playstyle from RRQ Hoshi with an active playmaker such as Vin on a box here, they're able to take more fights that are, towards that benefit them more. But now they're going for Vin here, staying in the front with total poisons as much as possible. Kira jumps in with the falling Star Moon, and Clay is in the back here, gone in.
Yes, Feather Airstrike to give up more pressure, but that hard guard comes to the clutch, but that Sonata will manage to burst that Uranus, but Alice will claim the kill. So very, very great coordination from RRQ, withstanding and as well as winning that trade here, and thus they managed to claim the second turtle right here, right now, Aderna.
Yeah, and Vin was able to escape of that situation with such a sliver of health. So really, really well played here again from RRQ Hoshi as they were able to take another objective, pushing a gold lead in the 5th minute. And as it stands, it seems like RRQ Hoshi are putting down the tempo once again. Maybe R7 opening up vision for his team, maybe trying to look for a pickoff. But he has to be careful because there is Facehugger as well as Godiva in the vicinity. There is Falling Star Moon to do a little bit of damage onto R7. But R7 beyond the Paquito will be able to make trades as well onto Kira, even though this is a 2v1 situation. It will be R7 getting out alive, but off camera, what happened to Hai as Hai was forced to be taken down, and it seems that Kabuki will be the next target, but unfortunately enough, he will be not able to get out of this one as there is backup coming in from Clay, but off camera again, Godiva is the one to get picked off. So this is not looking good for Aura Fire at all, as it seems like there will be trades all across the board, and Kabuki is caught in a really, really bad situation with Vin. They're trying to get him off the board, but Kabuki still able to get out of that. Will be able to outplay Vin is the question, and he does outplay Vin instead. So oh my god, Kabuki is crazy here, but there is Albert as well as R7 going into the mist, but it will be him taken off instead. Even though Heart Guard comes through, Godiva will be picked off instead. So again, a 0-for-2 trade for RRQ Hoshigani.
Oh! Yes, indeed. But look at Skylar dove in the tower and claiming a kill on Facehugger. This is not the gameplay. This is not the game plan from the side of Aura Fire that they want. And Aura High, though, High will find compensation bot side, taking the auto turret from the RRQ. But as it stands here, RRQ with this 3k gold lead, they will manage to push more pressure on towards our fire here at Derna.
Yes, and it seems like Kira is caught in a bad situation as there are 3 members there to take him off the board, and that will be another pickup for RRQ Hoshi as they will be able to secure this turtle away from Aura Fire. And what is going on with Aura Fire right now? What is happening? The fight that they had in game number 1 and game number 2 has just vanished, as it will be RRQ Hoshi dominating all across the board. Hai trying to make some compensation here, will be caught in a bad situation as the damage coming from Albert as well as R7 is just too much. Clay goes in for a play, but will not be able to connect just yet, as there is Kira and Godiva there to back his members up, and they will not be able to take that tower as of right now. But Skylar is also there in the mix, and oh my god! Hai has to go down as a gameplay, and the setup coming in from RRQ is just too much. Kira is the next target, but will be able to go away for right now, and it will be another trade here for RRQ Hoshi being able to take that top turret. But here in the bot side, Gani, it seems like Kabuki will be able to compensate for this one.
Yeah, indeed. But what a setup there from that Paquito, claiming with that initiation, managed to take 2 members from Aura. But there you go, Kabuki. Awkward positioning. He will not survive this one as Feather Airstrike will claim his life. Right now, 4 members for the side of Aura. And 4 innovators are down. With actually, I think RRQ Hoshi needs to basically find their momentum again because they are so proactive. They are leading this game. 5k gold lead, and right now High is the next target as Ranger with that ramp.
Oh my god!
That's Sonata once again claiming the life of Uranus. Right now, Facehugger needs to be careful because Black Shoes for what? Facehugger for what? As right now, Facehugger and as well as Godiva is not looking good, as Godiva will go down as well. 2 members once again will go down for the side of Aura Fire right now. The fight is messy. Kabuki claiming a life on towards Albert here with that execute. Shadowkill has been fought, but Kabuki will not survive too long as Kira needs to back off because 4 members are still up from the side of RRQ there.
Yes, and it seems like Albert was the one to go down instead. So really risky play coming in from Kabuki. But I guess it was a shutdown, and I guess it was worth it, I'd say, but not really sure, as 2 members are down from the side of Aura, as it seems like R7 will be wanting to push up the pace again. But 9 minutes in, almost 10. How are the items looking, Arashi?
And High just now secured the Oracle, so he hasn't been regenerating a lot in these early fights, and we saw how that was actually critical in using Uranus in the jungle. But now big fights breaking out yet again. Facehugger getting chunked quite low, but High is in the front. Facehugger comes back only to his death. That's another picks up the kill, but it's gonna be R7 making the play happen, Goni.
Yes, indeed. Kara is the next target as well as Godiva. Skylar dove into the turret, needs to back off though. But Feather Airstrike! What a clutch Feather Airstrike did not manage to take him down, but it just relieved off, just to zone out the players as Kabuki looks to push outside, but RRQ will focus themselves on to slaying this unenhanced Lord here there now.
Yes, and Albert on this Granger has been working really well with a 817 stat. I mean, yesterday he managed to claim a Savage on this Granger. So Aura Fire, knowing that maybe they are kind of behind in mental game, as it seems like Arkeoshi are picking up the pace once again. So this Albert really needs to be shut down, just like what happened in that previous skirmish where Kabuki was able to take him down. And I think that is something that they really need to replicate for future references here, as Arkeoshi, that Lord will be marching down in the top side there, Gani.
Yeah, indeed. Well, Aura, High here particularly is not having a fun game. 051 stat. Again, he does not have any impact whatsoever for his team as Lord marches down top side. Oh, Shadow Kill! Just hope for desperation, but he will go down. Kabuki will go down for the first time right now. Skylar, take a look at Skylar. He's just the front line, and Facehugger will be the next target as Lord will chunk that inhibitor top side, but clean play from the side of RRQ. They do not force a team fight because the opening was just not there just yet for Tirna.
Yes, but it seems like they will be able to take that turret in the mid side, as R7 is good to zone them. But with this, it seems like they are looking for a re-engage, maybe trying to pick someone off, but instead they just do take that turret as well as looking for the bottom turret. But Kira's not in a bad situation, but the airstrike opens up to seal the deal, and that is just too much for Kira to withstand, and he will be taken off the board, as well as Facehugger with that Death Sonata opened up right now. But Skylar can go into the backside, will be able to take 2 members down. Shadow Kill just to be able to get out of that situation, still will be able to fall, but I is the next target, and I will also be taken down, and that is a wipeout as well as a double kill for RRQ Hoshi, and that is game number 3, Gani.
Different game, a fast game here in game number 3. RRQ displaying for game number 3, and Aura Fire could not respond. Arashi, please take the stage.
Well, early on, I think Aura was executing their initial strategy, which is to use the level to use the Uranus to muscle control away from the map, and instead of like picking off people and threatening to pick them off to push them backwards, you can just walk in front because he's tankier on the Uranus.